Okay, no intro. So we're going to get straight into this and we're going to go in with this Candely lip treatment. And I'm just going to apply this all over my lips. I got this in an Ipsy bag and I absolutely love this. This is so hydrating and really good to put on before you wear any kind of lipstick. Okay, now I'm going in with my L'Oreal Androgyny. I absolutely love this moisturizer from the drugstore. It's a little bit more pricey to be a drugstore moisturizer, but it is so good and it's so hydrating on the face. I use it every day and I'm really liking this one. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the First Aid Beauty Coconut Smoothie Primer. I'm really liking this. It is a primer, but I use it as a moisturizer or a secondary moisturizer because I'll go in with another primer later on. This really helps moisturize the skin and it really smooths out the skin, giving it a nice finish. But like I said, I will go in with another primer before I do my foundation. Okay, now going in with my BH Cosmetics Brow Studio palette. I'm going to go in with the darker shade in here on this Morphe Gunmetal brush. I believe this is an eyeliner brush or an angled liner brush, but I'm going to go in with this brush and just fill in my brows with powder. I've really been liking the look of powder lately. That's why I'm going in with this palette. And I actually mix the powder and the pomade together just to make sure it really sticks to the hairs and my skin and make sure it doesn't come off. And it really helps set it in a lot better so that way your eyebrow doesn't fade throughout the day. Going in with my CoverGirl Clear Lash Mascara, I believe it is, but I use it as a brow setter. And I'm just going to go ahead and set those brows in place. Okay, now it's time to clean those brows up and prime my eyes for shadow. And then I'm going to go in with this Tarte Shape Tape and this Morphe brush. And I'm just going to blend this all over my eye and then get really close to that brow and really clean that brow up. This is just going to give me a really nice even base for eyeshadow later on. And it's going to really make sure my shadow shows up true to color. And I'm going to go on with this Ofra Banana Powder on a Fluffy Real Technique shadow brush. And I'm just going to place this all over my lid just to kind of brighten things up a little bit and really set that concealer in place. That way we don't have any dragging or anything later on when we try and blend out shadows. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the shade Charm from the Androgyny palette. I'm going to place this all over the transition area and use this as a transition shade. This is a really pretty yellowy orange, and this is really going to help blend those shadows out later on. Now I'm going to go in with Makeup Geek's Bitten. I put this throughout the crease just to kind of deepen things up a little bit, but if you see later on in the video, I'm going to go in with the Jeffree Star shade and just kind of cover all of that up. I thought that this was needed, but it really isn't. So if you want to just skip this step altogether, you can, and just go straight in with your Jeffree Star palette. You'll come up with the same outcome in the end. But I'm just going to take this shadow and buff it all through the crease, staying a little bit lower than that Morocco shade that we used earlier. Now for my favorite shade in this whole palette, I'm going to go in with the shade Fetish in my Androgyny palette. And I'm going to take this on this Morphe brush and just kind of buff that in the outer V a little bit, just to kind of deepen that out just a little bit more. And then I'm going to drag it through the crease just to make sure we don't have any harsh lines or anything like that. As you see right now, I'm just tracing out that outer V, really making sure the pigment is paying off the best it can. So I'm going to go in and pack and then kind of blend it out very lightly, very, very lightly, because this shadow is so pigmented, so you can get heavy-handed really, really fast. So I'm going to go in very, very lightly with this shadow. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with this NYX white eyeshadow base, and I'm going to use this to kind of carve out my crease just a little bit, just to clean everything up, and to really make sure that lid color is going to pop when I apply it in just a few minutes. Okay, now you see I'm going to try and keep this eye closed until I can get that shadow on there to set that cream. I really don't want this cream to go up in my crease any. And I'm going in with the shade Frosting from the Jeffree Star Androgyny palette. And I'm just placing this all over where I just put that white. This is the prettiest gold tone shadow. And it, as you can see on top of this white cream, is so pigmented. It was absolutely beautiful. Okay, now going in with this shade Deja Vu, I'm going to place this right where my outer V and my lid meet, just to really blend those two shades together and make sure there's no like line of demarcation between the two shadows or any harsh lines between the two. This is just going to give you that nice gradient fade across your lid, and it turns out absolutely beautiful in the end when it's all blended out. Now I'm going to go in with the shade Fetish again, and I'm going to put this back on the outer V just to kind of bring some of that pigment back and to blend out that Deja Vu shade, just like I said before, to make sure there's no harsh lines. I'm going to go with my Tarte lash curler, and I'm just going to curl these lashes up. I kind of want to try a new lash curler, so if y'all have any recommendations, leave them in the comments down below, because I don't feel like this one is performing as well as it probably should. And I'm really wanting to try some more because I've had this one for a really, really long time now. So I think it's about time to get a new one. I'm going in with Inglot number 77 gel liner and my NYX liner brush, and I'm going to speed this part up just a little bit just because it takes so long for me to actually apply wing liner. We would be sitting here all day if I left it at real time. So I'm just going to go in and create a wing. And with my favorite mascara, the Maybelline Big Shot, and I'm just going to coat these lashes a couple good times just to get them ready to blend with my falsies. Ardell 810 Faux Minx, and lashes are on. Like I said before, I'm going to go in with some primers, and I'm going in with my Soap and Glory One Heck of a Blot. Like you know, I absolutely love this primer. It really gives a nice finish to the skin, and I have noticed it really does combat oil throughout the day. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my, I believe this is my Maybelline Better Skin Foundation, my absolute favorite, and I'm just going to apply this to my face with a brush at first and just stripe it all over just to make sure I have an even amount all over the place, because I found if you pick it up straight off your hand with the Beauty Blender, you kind of lose product a little bit. So I'm going to just make sure that I'm getting as much of the product as I possibly can on my face before blending it out with the Beauty Blender, just to be sure I don't lose any coverage or any product in the long run. And as you see, I'm just blending out with my L'Oreal blend-in sponge. Okay, now for my favorite concealer, the Maybelline Age Rewind. This concealer is so nice. It's got so much coverage. It's from the drugstore, so it's affordable. And I've really noticed that it doesn't really crease throughout the day, and it doesn't get cakey on me. I love the Tarte Shape Tape, but sometimes I just feel like that's a little too heavy for me. So I'm just going to apply this everywhere that I want to highlight the face. And as you saw, I went on my jawline, because when I do the contour in just a little while, it's going to help make sure it blends out a lot better. And that way there's no harsh lines or weird discoloration right there when we put that contour down later on. Now for my new baby, I'm going in with the Hoola Quickie Contour Stick. I have absolutely fallen in love with this contour stick. It is the easiest cream contour to blend out, and it is the perfect shade for my skin tone. I absolutely love this, and I hope I never run out because it's absolutely amazing. And I'm going to go through and contour my face. And I'm contouring under my lip and on my cupid's bow just to kind of define my lips a little bit more. I believe I saw Lusterlux here on YouTube doing that contour on the cupid's bow. And I really liked how it kind of made it stand out just a little bit more. So I've been doing that lately and I've really been liking it. And I'm just going through and blending all of this contour out with that same L'Oreal sponge. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my Coty Airspun powder, and I am just going to place this everywhere that I have that concealer just to really set it in place. I'm not really baking today. I am a little bit under the eyes, but not really because I don't want to be too powdery. Okay, now it's time to set that contour in place, and I'm just going to go in with my trusty Hoola bronzer and this Fluffy Real Techniques blush brush, and I'm just going to apply the bronzer everywhere that I had that cream contour just to bring a little bit more pigment back and to really set it in place to make sure it lasts all day. Okay, I know I said I wasn't going to bake, but I have to clean up this contour. So I'm going to go in with that Airspun powder again, and I'm just going to bake with this e.l.f. brush right underneath that contour line just to really clean it up and give me a really sharp, defined contour. Okay, so now going in with this L'Oreal Still Kiss Some Steam. I don't know how to say that. Gel eyeliner, and this is in a teal shade, and I absolutely love these eyeliners. They last so long, and this teal is so beautiful and pigmented. As you can see, the pigment in this eyeliner is crazy. And I'm going to go in with the shade Charm from my Androgyny palette. And I'm just going to buff this on the lower lash line just to kind of add a base for the shadows we're fixing to use on that lower lash line. And to kind of mimic what we did on the top. I'm going to go in with the shade Poison. This is a beautiful teal matte shade, and I'm just going to place this on the lower lash line, really hugging that lower lash line and making sure it's getting really close to where that eyeliner is, just to kind of smudge out that teal shade that we just put in the lash line. Okay, now just buffing away that bake. Okay, now I'm going to go in with this Tarte blush and Seduce with this Luxie brush, and I'm just going to pop this all over my cheeks. We can't forget about those lower lashes, going in with Big Shot again and just giving them a nice coat. Okay, now for my favorite part of any look, I'm going to go in with Oprah's Highlight in Rodeo Drive and apply this everywhere that you normally apply highlight, the tops of the cheekbones, the cupid's bow, the tip of the nose, and we're going to get glowing. To gold, so I'm going to go in with this Sun Dip palette in the pinker shade, and I'm just going to apply this right over the top of Rodeo Drive. Okay, now to set all that in place, I'm going to go in with Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray, and I'm just going to give a nice spritz to the face and really let all that powder sink into the skin and help set my face. Finish off this look, I'm going to go in with Kylie Cosmetics Damn Gina Gloss, and I'm just going to apply this all over the lips. This is a really pretty sparkly pink, and I felt like it complemented the look very nicely, and I really wasn't feeling a liquid lipstick today, and this is a perfect alternative. Alright guys, that's the end of the look. Now time for some awkward posing. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you recreate this look. If you do, don't forget to tag me in it. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you go, and we will see you next time. Bye!